Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. What's more, I realize I have a brother named H. He said he was conversing with Mike. It resembles Mike's show. He said Snoop was simply a prop. They had a few extreme misfortunes. Is there anybody, especially that stands out to you? It is somewhat the hardest one of those to swallow. Nippy and Nate just felt like they had such a huge amount to do. The same is true with Pac, too. I feel as if he wasn't actually able to complete it. He kicked the bucket at 25. Nowadays, it might appear to be like each man in his uncle's family has a digital broadcast, and it might seem like this since it's actual. Knight's fight Suge even figured out how to get his very own digital broadcast from jail, called Gather Call with Suge. Knight and in his couple of past episodes have been uncovering Snoop Dogg vigorously, and most recently, it may have seemed to connect Snoop to the Tupac murder case. We'll look at every one of the subtleties encompassing this present circumstance, so make certain to stay close by till the end for the full scoop as per the latest short clip from the fellow benefactor of Hip Bounce week after week talks with Knight. Snoop Dogg could have had an impact on Tupac's 995 homicide. I outrageously got to have a genuine discussion with Snoop. Knight said, I realized that Pac did everything right by him by putting him on everyone's eyes on me standing in opposition to him and being genuine with him. And in the event that it's actual what they express eye to eye, it will be a ton of making sense of to do. Suge likewise proceeded to say that. Warren made it significantly more clear in Suge's eyes that Snoop Dogg was 100% connected to Tupac's homicide on the unfortunate night in Las Vegas. Their #1 conflict did a thing where he was. So on Talking Anything They Doing Out There, and he said that Snoop had a radio he at Snoop Dogg house when happened. I heard a horn bee sounding before my home. I watched out the house and Snoop Dogg was outside in an UA white Rolls Royce. Then he had the following tale in those days. Recollect the no doubt definitely he had the could go that anything that it was hitting him as far as possible based on what was happening from Vegas. And afterward, he began getting calls and furthermore, they was letting him know that Tupac had chance and just way you have a ratty on the off chance that he was at the battle with. And you had a security detail once this got delivered. Fans have been going off the deep end and accusing Warren with Postal Warren made a mistake and said something he shouldn't have. So presently, Snoop Dogg is likely going to need to come clean about what he is familiar with. Past homicide Warren Fupp. Snoop was desirous of Pac. At first, it was Diddy, who fans accepted and were sure was behind Tupac's murder. Currently, it's Snoop Dogg, the reality. Keefe D was captured for his supposed contribution, which blew this case up 100x in light of the fact that who understands what he will say when it boils down to the preliminary he could let the cat out of the bag on in a real sense. As of right now, the almost 30-year examination has just created one suspect, Dwayne Keith D. Davis, entered a not blameworthy supplication in early November, and in that frame of mind, 1 year from now, he will go being investigated in Nevada. Snoop Dogg has recognized that he could have done without the notable plate tune Hit 'Em Up by Tupac during an untold story interview with a huge kid. Snoop Dogg examined his Tupac relationship with his previous namemate at Death Row Records in the days leading up to his less-than-ideal passing in September 1996. 7 days before Pac's demise, Snoop guaranteed that he and Pac were generally excellent companions. With that change, a couple of days later, when he offered a few complimenting comments about Diddy and Big Deal, we were all companions at one point. This video film of us all hanging out, Pac, Biggie Puff. We were all together before Death Row. I never saw myself getting involved in any event. When he played the video for me too, Hit 'Em Up in any event, when he played Hit 'Em Up the tune, I could have done without the tune. No doubt, you felt like it was too much, right? I could have done without it. Like I could have done without this, like it wasn't like it to me, like it was getting you to purchase more prof issues. It looks like you're having purchasing issues. Hoodlums are wherever they make them all over, and I think when he got with us, he got to the outlook that we, the Snoop Dogg, are basically dead on in this occasion as you will get the energy you put out there and delivering a track like Hit 'Em Up is simply going to enhance your foes and put a considerably greater abundance on your head. Albeit a ton of fans disagreed with Snoop on his take with Post Likey in 1995 or 1996. Snoop Dogg was making diss tracks against Big Deal. Furthermore, Puffy with Scar yet presently out of nowhere caught up with him as something terrible. Skull emoticon, haha! So Snoop low-key abhorred strongly suspected I saw him at the Place of Blues shaking in front of an audience with Pac when they played Hit 'Em Up thinking emoticon, and they are dead on Snoop was exceptionally deceptive in that clasp. However, he made a valid statement with respect to making considerably more foes when it wasn't required yet. You can perceive he knows something, or he was basically desirous of PC and his strength in that period. In a comparative clasp from a similar meeting, he got some information about his whereabouts on the night Tupac was shot up in Las Vegas also, talked about seeing him in the medical clinic after the occurrence, and the following time I saw him, he was arriving in the emergency clinic. I simply thought I was making the wisest decision, and it was some other cuz then when I left there, I went in the restroom, and I hurled and recently laid on the floor for like 30 minutes. His mom told the truth in there, and me up his mom came in there and tidied me up and got me back right like she is quite a woman man in Pac. He lives for around 7 days, however. Did you know at that point? Or from the get-go that Pac won't make it? No, that is Superman cuz I thought he was emerging. From that, we've seen it before. I watched him do it previously, so I resembled he'll be okay. He going to emerge from it. Before we go any further into the video, what are your folks' straightforward contemplations on the whole circumstance? Do you accept Snoop Dogg is connected to the Tupac murder case? Somehow, regardless of whether he pulled the trigger, does he has any idea about what really happened? Remark down underneath. Napoleon, the previous bandit rapper, blamed Snoop Dogg for abruptly concealing Tupac. See, Napoleon talked with the Specialty of Discourse on Monday, October 9, about the number of individuals that were really feeling about the California symbol Pac and how they were bringing in cash. According to his story, a portion of these people were extremely smooth. He started, "You have pre-owned siblings. You have specific people like Snoop Dogg who explain they have a way of behaving like they commend Pac, yet they're putting him down." Alan Yu said Snoop darkened his light for folk to sparkle. They do it in such a smooth manner that you can resemble goodness. Wow. He's not a critic, which, in that frame of mind of no-nonsense, Tupac fans and a ton of the hip-jump world have similar position with regards to this, particularly with Snoop, as assuming you watch various meetings when he's gotten some information about Tupac, he appears to convey a ton of underhanded commendations that annoys fans. Have additionally condemned Snoop Dogg for switching around his story in various meetings with regards to examining Tupac and his passing with post, as I don't completely accept that a word he says about Pac. Such countless various individuals say he wasn't there or not there, through and through in various circumstances. Isn't it like notable that Snoop lied about what happened that evening like multiple times? In one more meeting, he says nobody was permitted in a similar room Tupac was in, yet presently, he says he saw him with tubes. It'll be intriguing to see what comes from this whole circumstance, considering Key D has been captured, and we need to hang tight for months now for the preliminary. It will just increase the hypothesis concerning whether Diddy or Snoop were involved. All the reality Sue faced a couple of days ago emerged, and the connection Snoop made to it doesn't look great for him.